why you can't succeed, right? And the reason you can't succeed is the program you're currently running in your mind. You've got a situation where basically junk's built up, yeah? So something along the way has come in. So somebody's gone, well, this is how it is, and you've gone, oh yeah, that's how it is. And it's just, that person's been a Chinese whisper, it's been a load of rubbish, right? So it's a case of you've now based some of your thinking on that pile of junk. Then something else has happened and you've gone into business and it hasn't worked because of something. And you've gone, oh right, okay, yep, that hasn't worked because of this. Okay, so I'll take that as an assumption, I'll put that into my mind as well. And that was wrong because you hadn't actually analysed what actually happened, it was just what you thought had happened. Well, so you put that junk in there and you put this bit of junk in there, and they sort of rattle around in there and they sort of bounce off each other, and basically they produce different bugs, different problems that you don't know about, because these two wrong thoughts creates more wrong thoughts. And what happens is you end up with basically a load of junk going on. When you combine that with the program that society gives you, which is basically stay where you are, you know, everything's scary, there'll be monsters everywhere else other than, you know, doing what you're doing, stay where you are. It's a case of you've got a program running inside your head that's basically full of bugs and you can't overcome it. So what happens is you've got this big virus going on in there. And let's say you go to a seminar or something like that and you go, right, okay, that bloke's making a fortune doing this, I'm going to buy his system, I'm going to copy exactly what he's doing. Right, yep, sounds pretty cool. And you go and get it, and then you go and stick this program into your mind, and you get 0 results. Right? And the reason you're getting 0 results is really simple. You're sticking a good software onto a computer which has a virus. That's it. That's what you're doing. So what happens is you keep doing this, and you go through life, and you go, oh, another thing. Oh, that hasn't worked. It hasn't worked because, and so then what you do is you then go, well, that hasn't worked because I'm not capable of it, or it hasn't worked because that person's a liar and they sold me a piece of junk. Don't get me wrong, they might be, but that's beside the point. The point is you're basing it all on assumptions which are not correct, because basically you shouldn't have loaded the software onto a computer which had a virus. You know, you go to any computer shop and a computer guy turns around to you and says, you go and you walk in with your computer and go, it won't work, I can't load any software on it. Well, do you know what's wrong with it? He says, and you go, yeah, it's got a virus on it. He goes, well, that's why the software won't work. Right? That's it. Nothing more complicated than that. So you've got a program that's running with a virus. Now, this goes as part of the reason all of the success teachers can't teach it to you. Right? This is just one of the things. Right? The problem is that I had a very good description the other day, you know, just yesterday on Facebook, and they described it as, you know, a bug-free mind. You know, what all personal development does is it's like an air raid. And they're going through, and the bombers are going through, dropping bombs, and they're getting rid of some of the problems, right? And basically, but the trouble is there's loads of insurgents left on the ground. And so after the bombers have gone, the insurgents carry on fighting, right? Whereas what I do with, you know, in creating a bug-free mind is I basically go through the streets like a crew clearing the houses, house to house. So we rid out all of the insurgents. Now the problem is, when you're a personal, when the guys are teaching from it, the success education, they're doing it and it's going, well, this has worked for me. Right? So of course, therefore, they're expecting it to be able to work for you. But of course, they're giving you this great piece of software. You're going plonk straight in there, didn't work. Right? Now, the problem is that it's a case of, in my opinion, and I think my opinion's right as it happens, the purpose of a teacher of this sort of thing is to get it through so that the student understands it. It's not the job of the student to understand how the teacher was teaching it. Right? It's the teacher's job to get it through, you know. And the problem is with success, less than 1% of people get success, and basically less than 1% of success books and that sort of thing work, and they would have worked for the person who was doing them anyway. So the problem is that it doesn't work. So, you know, as I covered in an earlier video. So the thing is, the guys, they can't teach it to you because they're teaching it one way, and your brain can't accept it that way because your brain isn't ready for it, because your brain's got loads and loads of junk on it. So what we've got to do is we've got to go get rid of that junk, debug it, and then put the software in, and anything works. That's it. Once you put a good software in, anything works.